Well, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome to another in our webinar series. Today, we are going to be talking about our WISE WMS solution. We will associate it with our end-to-end ERP solution, which is deployed with SAP Business One. However, please do realize that our WISE WMS can be deployed standalone, and it can and has been successfully integrated two-way with many of the world-class ERP systems that are out there. So as much as we are going to talk about BWISE and Business One a little bit, realize that this is indeed a very generically applicable WMS solution. So that being said, I'm going to quickly run through a little bit of an introduction about the solution, what the solution does, how it's positioned out there. But I'm going to turn things over to George. And George is actually going to walk through the solution, show you its highlights as we go through. At the end of the webinar, we should have time for some questions. So yeah, if you want to scribble those down, you can input those into the discussion box on your lower tray there. So hey, let me start. So first off, we're going to talk about first kind of positioning of WISE within the BWISE solution. BWISE is an end-to-end ERP solution specifically focused on warehouse management, yard management, and distribution and some manufacturing. As BWISE, it is fully integrated with SAP Business One, which is kind of the world-leading small to mid-size enterprise solution out there today, fastest growing solution in the small to mid-size enterprise space. We are connected in a certified manner, so that is to say SAP has validated our connection with their product. It is two-way, and they validated that in fact our solution provides the functionality that we say it does. So this is a certified SAP software solution, and as you would expect, BWISE is also a certified value-added reseller within the SAP Business One family. So we have a rather unique relationship with SAP Business One. As I have said, the WISE solution that we're going to show you today for WMS can stand alone and has been integrated to other ERP solutions as well. So this, I think, you'll find very valid, when you're looking for WMS solutions. The whole messaging around BWISE and its end-to-end solution is about the digitization of your business. All components within your business talking in real time to each other, single source of the truth, if you like. Everything that's happening out back in the warehouse, in the shop, in the front office, your sales guys out in the field. All of that is happening connected in real time. It's particularly advantageous for companies that are growing and growing quickly. You can really successfully automate processes and understand what's happening with your business in all its aspects. And that gives you competitive advantage. This is a fully connected business solution with all its functions. And hey, access to information at your fingertips, which is really what you need. We do use the SAP implementation methodology that's been deployed over 80,000 times. It works. It's highly, highly detailed. And as a matter of fact, you can even see that implementation methodology within the solution itself. Very, very templated, lots and lots of tools that take away a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So as a result, implementation is about as simple as you can get within the WMS and ERP world. And as you would expect, time is money, so this becomes a much more affordable solution for you while highly automating all of the components. This is truly end-to-end with all the bits and pieces and technology enablers that you need. George is going to show you all kinds of, analytic tools. Again, everything in real time. Lots and lots of reports, key performance indicators, widgets, dashboards, and so on. Full support of mobility. This is a solution that is architected for the cloud, optimized for the cloud. But that being said, there are still companies that want to be on premise. So, hey, we offer that solution from an end user perspective. They can't see whether this is sitting in the cloud or whether this is sitting on premise. As a matter of fact, you could actually move from one to the other. So we're not forcing you into a shoebox of deployment. We support the Internet of Things and machine learning, so you can actually connect automation equipment that you may have out back. Whether that be AGVs, carousels, carton erectors, robotics, all of that stuff can actually scales. That can all be integrated real time into the WISE WMS or your ERP system end to end. We fully support artificial intelligence. And we are adding and rolling out artificial intelligence with every new release that's coming out. So that whole adage of garbage in, garbage out, that's becoming less and less relevant with the advent of artificial intelligence. Hey, SAP's got $1 bazillion, so yeah, they're spending it on technology. Artificial intelligence being on the leading edge of that. From a BWISE perspective, the WISE solution is a Gartner mid-market notable. We are Magic Quadrant. As I said before, we are an SAP value-added reseller and a software solutions partner. So we have a special relationship with SAP. We're headquartered in Long Beach. Our product development is in Long Beach, and our customer support is in Long Beach. We are a US-based company, and we take care of our customers here in the US. We are not nearshored, we are not offshored. We do have offices in Mexico, Colombia, Spain, the Netherlands, and Romania. We're deployed in over 14 countries. As a company, we were founded in 1984, so 41 years in business, which is kind of impressive by itself. 150 plus employees and growing, 350 plus WISE customers and growing. The last two bullets, I think, are rather salient. We have 2 customers who've been with us for over 37 years. We have 24 customers who've been with us for over 25 years. And, hey, what's the wow in that? Well, considering that people are changing out their ERP systems every 5 to 7 years, 41 years is a big deal. It tells you that our solution continues to be on the forefront of technology, the forefront of functionality, and we really truly understand the worth of our clients. We support them, we implement well, we are referenceable. All those things being said, hey, people stay with us. Hey, that's a good thing. If you do the math and hey, what people tell us in school, $6 to find a new customer, $1 to keep the one that you have. I'm not a mathematician, but hey, I understand what it is we have to do. We keep our customers happy. From a BWISE perspective, you are going to find we have a lower cost of ownership than most of the other solutions that are out there. We're faster to implement, faster to install, definitely a less complicated solution, which obviously makes it easier from an end user perspective. Because it is easy to use and easy to implement, we have not been forced to go out and produce a skinny version of the product. So even smaller companies can afford that full suite of tier one functionality that we have to offer. We have built the interfaces to many of the industry standard tools, specifically to mention, hey, bartender, ship engine, ship station, hey, we integrate to those solutions. So hey, you don't have to use some unknown third party. We're using world-class stuff. A lot of people are complaining about EU standards being very difficult and so on. Do we support them? Yes, we do. But hey, we can also operate in a simpler world. You'll find that our picking processes are much more efficient. There's not 15 stages to go through to generate a pick list. That's very, very simple. George will show that for you. Very, very robust solution. More robust than a traditional WMS solution in the small to mid-size enterprise space. So we're supporting things like yard management, dock scheduling, cross-docking, drop ship, directed put away, 3PL, 4PL. Very, very strong in those functionalities. We even have voice picking. So this is a very, very strong solution. Solutions that you would typically find, in tier one applications. We have them, and quite frankly, that's because we come from that arena and we have taken kind of tier one functionality and brought that down to the small to mid-sized enterprise in a very, very affordable manner. So we are a proven tier one solution, which is why we have this kind of functionality, and we bring those advantages to you as our BWISE solution. From a WISE warehouse management solution, there are a number of different products in that family. There is what we call BWISE, so that's the WISE solution with a certified connection into SAP Business One. We call that end-to-end solution BWISE. It is a fully, world-class WMS unto itself in a standalone manner, or as I've said, connected to other ERPs that are out there. So, hey, if you are using, I don't know, NetSuite, Epicor, SAP, S4, Dynamics, what have you, we can connect to those solutions as well. So you can have end-to-end, even though it's not SAP Business One. We have a very, very strong solution, as I've said, for 3PL, 4PL. We also have something called WISE Move, which is for transport and moving type companies. From a mobility perspective, again, we have a family of solutions there. As you would expect, we support handheld devices, for picking out in the warehouse. With our WISE Mobile, you can see the screen there. George will show you that in the demo itself. We actually have the capability of voice picking. So rather than scanning and fat finger, we can actually have voice-enabled devices. And we have a highly, highly optimized picking efficiency routine, which we call WISE ELS. So if you're, Amazon and you're transacting, 20,000 transactions an hour, hey, a tenth of a second matters in your picking process. We have a solution for you. It's called WISE ELS. From a deployment perspective, as I mentioned, whether you're in the cloud or whether you're on premise, we're agnostic to how you deploy. So you can count on us to give you sage advice on how you want to deploy, because we're not vested in how you go. So whatever's best for you, is what we will advise you with. And in fact, you can make a decision today to go on premise and then move to the cloud tomorrow, or vice versa. We support both. The look and feel at the end user level is the same regardless of how you deploy. This is a truly end-to-end solution, as I've mentioned. Here's a kind of a functionality listing, if you like. Today, we're going to focus on the warehouse management, which is in red. We use the SAP implementation methodology. This has been deployed, successfully over 80,000 times. It is highly, highly templated, lots of tools that sit in behind it. It's 5 stages through the implementation. Each stage has deliverables. Each stage has sign-offs. As I said, it's highly, highly templated. Hey, you use this methodology, you will go live on time, in scope, on budget. And hey, if you've done that, you're probably going to be referenceable and probably be happy campers. So hey, this is the way we go. We have some very, very, strong customers. I've just splashed a couple up here for you. You look at these guys, hey, you recognize who they are. In many cases, you say, wow, those guys are big. How's that relevant for me? Well, I'm thinking, if I can handle Target, if I can do, LAX, if I can work with Mercedes, if I can be the sole partner of choice for Toyo tires or Mitsubishi across all of North America, I can probably take care of your business as well. So that's kind of my story. I'm going to turn things over to George. George is going to walk through the solution for you. As I said, at the end, hopefully we've got some time. So yeah, we'll answer the questions for you. But hey, go George, go.
Well, thank you, Alan. Good day, everyone. I know we're talking about WISE today, but I got to start up with Business One just for a few minutes, just so you know where everything is coming from and everything. I'll give you very, very short introduction to this. It's a multi-solution, multi-company, multi-branch, multi-plant, multi-warehouse, multi-bin, multilingual, global application. Okay. If you want to open up a plant in Brazil and do it in Portuguese, fine, no big deal. It'll handle all your local taxes, usage tax and sales tax down to the zip code level. It has a lot of business intelligence embedded within it. This is called a cockpit. There are several cockpits that you can have. Make it public so that other people in the company can see them, or make them private whether you want only certain people you authorize to see them. Okay, something like that. You notice I don't have a menu open. A lot of times we'll have people who use the system throughout their whole lifetime and never open up a menu, because given the common function capabilities here and all of the dashboards and everything and key performance indicators, you don't necessarily look at the menu at all. Okay, menu's over here. I'll just take a quick walk through all of this. Okay, administration, all the switches and dials and settings to make the system work the way you want to. We are highly configurable. We can make it, our job is to make it match your to-be process, all of that. And that includes not only setting up the system with all the switches, dial settings, but all your approval processes. Integrate with anything you want to. There's a built-in integration service into all of this. There's any number of add-ons. If you want to do pig farming, there's one for that thing, or beer manufacturing, there's an add-on for that. All kinds of other things here available to you. Powerful workflow engine, and manage things by exception through alerts and management, all of that. Full financials, not just accounting, but everything, including 1099s. It'll handle that. All your fixed assets with retirement and capitalization and depreciation. All your budgeting with multiple budgeting scenarios, et cetera. All of that. Full cost accounting, so you don't have to have a mile-long chart of accounts to keep up with the detail that you want by maybe product line or by department or something like that. Keep the chart of accounts simple. And of course, all the financial reports you've come to know and love, all of that kind of stuff. Embedded CRM, okay? And it's not just customer relationship management, it's business partner relationship management. A business partner is either a lead, a customer, or a vendor. Either they pay you or you pay them. So it works on both sides of the equation. Activities are all of your phone calls, meetings, tasks, notes, campaigns, other things you define, all of that. All your marketing efforts are here, all your marketing campaigns and everything. And we'll be able to tell you what business you got from that, all your opportunities and quotes and sales orders, et cetera. Bunch of reports as well. There's over 550 standard reports, each with selection criteria that come from the system. And that's only one of 6 different reporting tools that you get. It's not a question of, can I get a report that shows me X? What's the best tool to use to give me a report that shows me X? Whatever it is I want to see. This is the sales, blanket agreements, time or quantity-based contracts with your customers, quotes, orders, deliveries, returns, AR invoicing, and credit memos. There's a dunning system built in, a whole bunch of other things, and of course, a bunch of reports associated with that. Um, Mirror image of that is purchasing, blanket agreements with your suppliers, and purchase requests, requests for quotation, etc., quotes, orders, returns, AP invoicing and AP credit memos, landed costs. So if you have any off-invoice costs, third-party freight, customs, importation fees, whatever they might be, spread them across whatever you receive by weight or volume or quantity or value or equally, line item by line item. Banking is where you deal with all your money, incoming payments, deposits, outgoing payments. Any incoming or outgoing payment can be done in any combination of checks, bank transfers, credit cards, or cash. All of that. Inventory, anything you make, buy, plan, or schedule is going to have an item master. It can be barcoded, however you want to barcode it. One-dimensional, two-dimensional, RFID. We don't care. All we care about is you can read the kind of barcode you want to use in the density, and the scanners will read that stuff, okay? Um, you may manage things by serial number or lot number, and serial numbers within lot numbers, et cetera. Full multi-level traceability for all that, for recall purposes, et cetera. If you're not using WMS, all the inventory transactions are here. People are doing WMS, they're doing the transactions in WISE, okay? Pricing has never been an issue for us. All of that, and a ton of inventory reports. Even though you're using WMS, you still get all the inventory reports that you would see here. Resources or anything that constrains you for capacity planning purposes, costing purposes, scheduling purposes, because we have full production capabilities here, full production capabilities within the system. MRP, forecasting at any level within your product structure. The same forecasting tools that are found in large SAP for the Fortune 500 are found here as well. MRP is wizard driven. You get order recommendations as a result of that. Service, maintaining any of your equipment or answering to service calls for customers. Okay. Powerful tool. Anything that happens after the sale or anything within your plant, you can handle with service and do your PM with this, etc. Embedded HR without the system to keep track of everything about your employee. You have your choice of how to do payroll. Within the whole around the world for that matter. In fact, you can have a full HRIS solution with benefits and everything at a very reasonable cost, thoroughly integrated with the solution. Full project management, external projects, internal projects, sub-projects. All you have to do to get something to relate to a project is to simply reference that project in any one of the transactions, anywhere in the system. All the costs and everything flow right into the project. And if you need to bill for any of that, there's a billing generation wizard to bill by milestones or progress payments and a bunch of reports. In fact, there's a whole repository of reports in all the other quote modules. And in fact, there are no modules. These are sort of spheres of functionality that happen to be displayed to you in a modular fashion. Okay. It's not sold by the module, it's sold by the user. And when you buy your first user, you get all of these modules I'm showing you today. 6 different reporting tools. Excel reporter, crystal reports, standard reports, 2 different query wizards, and something else that's patented called drag and relate. Okay, we're simple ad hoc, no training required for reporting capabilities. It's patented, nobody else has it. We get a chance, we'll show you that again at some point in time. Now, in Business One, what I've done is I've added some stuff so that we can start to play with WMS. I've added a purchase order, quick, a simple one. We're going to buy these printers from Far East Imports. It's just a quantity of 6 of them. Nothing special about them. They're not serial controlled or anything like that. I'm just going to keep the transactions simple. Okay. So we have that purchase order. We also have a sales order for these guys where we are selling these guys to Earthshaker Corporation, and they're only buying 1 printer out of all of that. So we have both a purchase order and a sales order in here. Now, before I go into WISE, let's talk about what you're going to see here. Okay. Let me start up I don't want to PowerPoint you to death, but let's make sure that we can get this for you here. Let us swap this. Thank you. First of all, WISE stands for Warehouse Information System Expert. Add Business One to that and you get BWISE. That's what that all comes from. Okay. We handle all your inventory needs throughout your entire property, not just what's in the stockroom, but all your inbound and outbound transactions, all of your yard transactions for that matter, anything that you're going to be doing there. It is a rules-based system. That means you can set up the rules of how you want to do various different procedures, how you want to allocate things, how you want to have the system actually work. Okay. And as a result of those rules, then you get directed operations. The system will tell somebody, go here, take this, shoot that, take it someplace else. Okay. Whatever that might be, or count it or something like that. It verifies that they did that task correctly. Okay. Um, as you know, the key in warehouse management is really twofold. It's accuracy and efficiency. Okay. And so we're building those two kinds of things into all your processes in the warehouse. We don't care what kind of technology you use, RFID, voice, mobile technology. We don't care what you use, whatever it is. It could be anything from a iPhone with a Bluetooth scanner attached to it to a multi-thousand-dollar symbol scanner you drive over with a forklift. We don't care. We don't care what kind of barcodes you use. Okay. It is flexible. It will meet all your needs. You've seen some of our customers, very demanding customers. They've been with us for decades in some cases. Again, we don't care what kind of devices you use, wearable devices, Android devices. Will integrate with all of your equipment, conveyor systems, automated storage and retrieval devices, whatever it might be, palletizers, whatever it is that you're using, we can integrate with it. We talk to it. It's built into the foundation of the solution. Okay. Um, so what do we simply see from all of this? One, all warehouse needs are solved. Everything. Okay. You get to accuracy and efficiency. Inventory record accuracy goes way, way, way up. And as you know, ERP doesn't work very well unless you have inventory record accuracy. And we measure it by item by location, not in the traditional financial way. And there's a whole number of different ways you can do cycle counting along the way here. Turnover gets better. Because we have better inventory record accuracy, MRP works much better. And as a result, we know what we need to make or buy and when we need to make or buy it. Okay? So we have the right stuff in the right place at the right time and not the stuff we don't need. So turnover gets much, much better. We tend to lower inventory levels because we're not getting the wrong things at the wrong time, but we're keeping customer satisfaction and customer service high because we're doing the right things at the right time. Throughput gets better because of efficiency. We'll direct the person to go through the warehouse in a certain direction, so that he's not jumping all over the place or she's not jumping all over the place. And so we can group orders together, so you can pick a whole bunch of orders at the same time. Again, efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Okay. Response times. Okay. We can react instantly. Everything is online. Everything is real time. Okay. And of course, it integrates to any other system that you really want to have it integrate to. It's built into. You define your warehouses. Okay. They can be anything from an actual, brick and mortar building to a salesperson's trunk for that matter. Whatever it is, wherever you have inventory that you own, it can be a container on the water. Doesn't really matter. Um, Within that warehouses, you may have areas. Okay, it can be an ambient area, a frozen zone, or something like that. You can have zones within there as well. Okay, whatever zones there are to keep allergens separate or something. Okay, and within their specific locations in any format that you want to do that. As you do some sort of transactions then within the ERP system, whatever that is that you're using, that will then, through a universal connector, generate tasks for people to do in warehouse management, okay, throughout the operation, okay? That extends to everything in your property, okay? Not just in the warehouse and at your docks, but everything. So as you book appointments, we'll track that. As those appointments have arrived, we'll know that. When they're being either loaded or unloaded, whether they're closed and they haven't left the property left, or whether they've departed the process. Okay. And when you do this, everything now is color coded. Okay. So that you see a particular truck that might be late coming or one that's too early and it's pending. When they've arrived, their status will change to whether they're in no location, maybe they're still on the street, they're at the yard, or they're at a dock someplace, okay, that they've been assigned to. When they're being loaded or unloaded, again, the same thing happens, okay? When they're done, they're either waiting at the dock, waiting at a yard location, and then when they've left the product, the property, they have departed. All of that is color coded. You then see all of that in a dock scheduling display where you'll see your various appointments through time, and they'll be color coded as to whether they're actually being worked on, or they're done, or they've departed, or whatever it might be, or they're late in this case, that kind of stuff. Okay, this is all fully integrated with everything that happens in the warehouse. Okay, so that as a truck pulls up to the dock trailer, it says that the incoming or outgoing event is available to be worked on, and it generates a task for somebody to do it. As they start to do that, the the color changes, and we're now loading or unloading a truck. And then when we're done with that, again, everything happens. It all changes. As we're doing things, then we'll produce labels, any labels that you want. Um, Pallet labels, license plates, carton labels, each labels, and format it however you want to do those things. And that all happens as you're doing transactions here. Okay. They can be simple 3x5 labels. They can be any shipping kinds of labels that you might need, those kinds of things, whatever they might be. Okay. In any format you want. You'll see a bunch of uh, dashboards, okay? All that are updated in real time as you go through this. Like how much have we loaded today? How much have we shipped today? How many pallets did we deal with? All of those kinds of things. Um, Also, you'll see performance. Who's doing what? Who's doing all of the work? Configurable here and scalable, and you can make it so that you filter it as well. And of course, as you saw before, dock scheduling, etc. Okay. So these things now, this has a couple of examples. These can be shown on people's laptops or desktop computers. A lot of our customers will put monitors in work in process, and as they're doing things, as the office is doing things or as the warehouse is doing things, they will then see what's coming up, how are they doing against all of that, what's the workload, whatever it might be, how are they performing, whatever. And people really tend to like that because now you give them the right tools, you give them enough time, and you give them the knowledge, and now you can hold them accountable for what they're doing. Okay, so here we are now. We're in business one. Okay, and we have our purchase order here. Here I am in WISE now. You might say, do I have to learn a different user interface? No, because the audiences for these two tools are mutually exclusive. This is the whole back office here, okay? Purchasing, sales, et cetera, financial people, all of that. This is warehouse management here. So these guys only have to learn their particular graphical user interface. And of course, the people who are doing transactions, they have everything that they do on a handheld device. If you're in the yard, well, what you have is your own specify, and you have somebody who's a transportation coordinator or something like that, they'll see it this way. And they'll handle things with gate check-in and gate check-out and all that. We'll get into this a little bit more later if we have time. Okay, so here we are. We're in the WMS here in WISE. Let's kind of talk about some of the highlights here just for a second. Maintenance is all the things you got to keep track of. Your product groups, your items, units of measure, things like that. Unit of measure conversions all over the place within the system. Buy it in one unit of measure, receive it in a different unit of measure, count it in a third unit of measure, sell it in a fourth unit of measure. We don't care, all of that. Now, of course, if you're integrating with an ERP solution, then you only have to maintain those items and product groups, et cetera, in the ERP system, and they all flow through the connector into WMS, so you have to do it twice. You define here what your warehouse looks like as well. All your warehouses, all your areas, all your equipment that you're dealing, your procedures for allocation of products, how you want to put things away, okay, how you want to allocate things. And of course, these can be robust. Okay, you define however you want these processes and these procedures to work, and the system will handle all of that. You can have as many of those as you need. Likewise, put away procedures. How do you want to put things away for directed operations, etc.? You just simply define those things. Okay. Um, we treat shipments separate from all of this as well, and you'll see that as we go through all of this. Okay. Um, so that's a quick look at all the maintenance kinds of things. Other maintenance, all your classifications for cycle counting, owners, because we handle 3PL. Not only you may have material that's not owned by you, by somebody else. You may be a 3PL operation, okay, in which you are handling everybody else's materials and charging for your services to do that. We'll handle that as well. Carriers, because we integrate with all the carriers. Hazardous stuff. We don't produce an SDS document, but we can handle hazardous materials differently, etc. And we can store the SDS document as an attachment as well, and then produce it and ship it along with the whatever you're shipping to that's hazardous. Okay. Set up whatever reasons you want for exceptions and stuff like that. Labels, labels, labels everywhere, all of that. So, and other kinds of things. And of course, there's a capability to purge old data so you don't have it hanging around forever, that kind of stuff. If we're talking about transactions, inbound transactions, expected receipts. In here, we would have a purchase order. Here, we have expected receipt. Why a separate thing? Because we may have a blanket purchase that has multiple receipts against it. Okay. And this is a unique identifier then for a specific receipt on a specific day on a specific PO. So here in Business One, I had purchase order number 1475. In warehouse management, I see purchase order number 1475, but we have assigned a unique expected receipt number, unique identifier for that. You notice the owners here. You may have different people that own the material. Okay. The people who are handling material for you in a 3PL operation don't have to know or care what particular uh, relationship you have with your customers and what you're charging for them to do that. They just go about their normal transactions. And then in the background, that builds up all of the things that you're going to charge to that customer, whether it's by receipt or you have to use a forklift or how long something has been on the shelf or how much space it takes up or whatever it might be. All of that happens automatically. And then in the end, what we have is a simple situation where you produce an invoice to the customer with one click based on all your things. And you have a detailed report for them of exactly why you charged them for that. Okay. And there's other transactions here as well, inbound. Outbound, same sort of thing. You have orders, okay, but we may group those orders into order groups. So you pick them all at the same time. Maybe they go up on the same vehicle, the same truck, and go to multiple customers for multiple deliveries. Handle all of that as well, okay? Um, and there's a shipment manager for all of this as well. We'll get into that in more detail, okay? From an inventory standpoint, all your cycle counting is here, okay? Inventory adjustments, replenishment, we'll do replenishment, moving things from a higher storage location into an easily pickable location, bin location, okay? So there's that, okay? We'll also do cross-docking, okay? We'll do all of that as well, okay? So, and of course, if you're using production, we have full production capabilities, okay? Where we'll actually send things out onto work in process. We'll record that stuff coming into inventory from work in process and do a put away when it's all done and trigger the shipment. All of those kinds of things are a standard part of this as well. So not if you're just a distributor, but if you're a manufacturing company, we've got you handled as well. All of that. So, of course, there's other things. There's 3PL things where you have all your 3PL transactions, et cetera. Okay. Billing charge types. Okay. All of those kinds of things. You can have as many charge types as you want. Okay. For whatever things you're going to be doing. Okay. For instance, if I got to do a forklift situation, I have a charge for that, whatever it might be. Simple as that. Um, and taxes associated with that and all those kinds of other things. Okay. Um, from also then your transactions that you do. You want to produce an invoice? There it is. Okay. You want to see the month-end charges that I have for somebody? for a given customer, right in here. If I want to produce the invoice, just generate all the pending invoices and you're done. That will generate an invoice back into your ERP system and handle all of that kind of stuff as well. Simple as that. Okay. So let's get back out of here and let's not talk about this anymore. Let's go back to some other things. We'll handle slotting. So if you have high usage items, you don't have to go to the back of the warehouse every time to go get them when you're receiving and shipping and stuff. There's a slotting capability for all of that. We'll handle shipment scheduling, as we talked about before. All your cycle counting and stuff is here. There's a full performance measurement as well here. So for instance, if I want to see my performance history, this is the slide that you saw before, but in real time. And what happens? So if I want to see it by count or by quantity, there it is. Okay. Different ways to see all of that. So let's go do some things now, and we'll see how this all works. Okay. Also, if you want to see the hourly load, for instance, in New York, we have a big lump that happens early in the morning, maybe for the initial morning ship receipts, then another lump in the mid-morning for receiving, coming in, another lump in the afternoon when we're shipping things or something like that. But we can do this so that you can now deploy your people in the proper fashion so that you're handling those loads as they come up in whatever hourly fashion they are. Okay. And of course, there's other kinds of things as well here. Outbound performance. There's other performance kinds of things, and there's those things exist as well here uh, in yard management. So if you look at other dashboards here, there's a whole bunch of different dashboards: warehouse performance, carrier performance. There's a mapping capability here, so you can just draw a map of your facility and handle and just drag and drop trailers into where you want them to go. That'll send an email actually or a text to the driver to go move the trailer from dock one to whatever yard position you want them to go to, things like that. But there's various different dashboards and stuff that come out of this as well. So there's that. So let's go do some things here. Enough looking through menus and stuff. Okay, so here I am. I have an expected receipt, okay, from this particular vendor. I can look at the detail just like you can otherwise. I'm getting 6 of these particular printers here, okay. I'll just go back, okay. And by the way, if you're using food and stuff like that, we'll handle catch weights. We'll handle your multiple units of measure, things like that as well, for all of that. And if it needs to be refrigerated or something, you'll notice we can have you check the temperature of the trailers. If that needs to have happen. That these guys don't have refrigerated needs, so there's nothing here, but you get the gist of it. There's all of that available to you here. Now, remember I said as we do things, the system will generate tasks for everybody. So here I am now. I'm on the receiving dock, okay? And I'm on a handheld device. Everybody out there who's doing something gets a work queue, things that are assigned for them to work on. If you're going to be doing something, they just simply work their way down the queue, okay? And they're directed to go do what they need to do. Simple as that they work their way down the queue. These are simple, large buttons that if you have your work gloves on and something, you can still use them. These nice, easy displays to look at. It takes somebody maybe a couple of minutes to learn how to use these kinds of functions. It's really simple, etc. So what's the pattern that you're going to see? First of all, shoot the area that you're going to be in here. What area am I working on? I'm in receiving right now. And we've broken up this particular warehouse example into sort of a medium-sized warehouse where you might have a QA inspection area, you might have a shipping area, a cross-docking area, the actual warehouse itself, production capabilities. There might be packing that you're doing for a pick, pack, and ship or something like that. But I'm just doing a simple receipt here. So I'm in receiving. And I'm going to do receiving, okay? And I'm going to do a receipt, okay? First of all, it asks me, what location are you? Shoot the location. Usually this is a barcode that's hanging from the ceiling or it's on the wall or something like that. It tells the system, where are we? I can now receive by either the expected receipt number or by purchase order number or from a work order from work in process and receipt that way, or I just found something. So there's different ways to do this. Let's use our particular expected receipt number here, 1292. Now, we would normally shoot this on a barcode, scan it, because we could produce a whole list of barcodes for the things that we're supposed to be getting in, that are either overdue or coming in today or tomorrow or something like that. And then you just simply shoot the barcode for when it arrives. Gives me the expected receipt number. What are we receiving? We are receiving these printers. I'm supposed to be receiving 6 of them. It's telling me I should probably put them in this location. Remember, we talked about directed put away. Here it is. Okay. So, what palette are we going to put this on? I can have this automatically. I'm just going to assign one here. I'll use the expected receipt number and use that. But you can have these assigned it however you want to. You can have them pre-printed with a series of labels. I'll just stick them on a pallet as you get them on, or whatever kind of packaging thing that you're using. In this case, our carton types is a pallet. Um, or you can have them automatically printed in real time by a little label printer that's hanging off your belt or something like that. So what quantity am I going to receive? 6 of them. Okay. Is the material good and available? Does it require QA or QC? Is it damaged in any way, shape, or form? If it is, take a picture of it using the device's camera and document what's going on with it. That's available to you throughout the whole process here. Okay. And I will now submit that we have received these guys. Done. Simple transaction. Doesn't take very much to do. You do it in different languages, doesn't really matter. Okay. All of that is there. So now, here I am back in as a supervisor, and I see that this guy's still open, okay? But if I look at the task associated with him, we have already received him, and that has been completed successfully for that item, okay? Put onto that pallet, okay? For that quantity. And who did that? George did that on that date and that time. There's a complete audit trail of who does what when. The system has now generated a put away task for somebody. Okay, the material is available. Here's the item. It's in the receiving location. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this away. Here I am now. Here, I'm no longer in receiving. I'm in the warehouse. Okay, and I'm going to do a put away. Okay. It says, you need to put this guy away. So walk up to the pallet, scan the license plate, and it says, you're going to be taking this guy. I want you to put him into this drop location. So when I get to that location, this is directed put away. I scan the location. George, come on, type. I don't have a scanner connected to my laptop, so I have to type some things in here. I probably ought to do that at some point in time, but that's another story. Anyway, I scan the location that I'm putting it into, the bin location. So it's understand that it's verifying that I'm taking this stuff and putting it in the right place. I submit that. Done. I'm done with all of that. Now, if I refresh my screen back here, we have now successfully completed that put away. And where did we put them? Put them into that location. So that's all been done. Now, as a result of this, I can now just close my purchase order, close the expected receipt, that particular event, and we're done. Pretty simple. Not a big deal to do it. Back here in Business One, let me put my purchase order aside here for a second, and we'll open up the sales order that we're looking at. This is sales order number 1393. Okay. It's to Earthshaker Corporation. They're buying one of our printers. Okay. And we're making a decent profit on all of this. If I look at the gross profit here, okay, we're making 63% profit on this line item. Not bad. Pretty good. Okay. So anyway, we have the sales order here. Now go into WISE. Let's close our expected receipt here, and we'll go into transactions, outbound transactions, and we'll do either order management or we can do order group management. If we had an order group, then we can see for any given order group here what's actually going on with this. If I say the group, what orders are part of a particular group or something like that, you can see what orders are part of a given group if you have these groups together. Okay, see a bunch of orders that are going on in one group. same sort of thing. And then as a result, that will give you tasks, etc. But we're not doing group management today. We're just doing plain order management. So let's go into here and we'll do order management instead of this. Now, whatever allocation rules you have, how do you want to break ties? How do you want to handle things in the worst case situations when you need to make the least worst choice, put it that way? Um, then allocation rules can really help you with that if you have VIP customers, et cetera. Then you can unassign and reassign if you need to override any of that kind of stuff. But we're going to do order management right now. And of course, you can sort in anything that you want in any column here. And like with Business One, you can control what you see on the screens and slide things up and down and put them in the right sequence, make them visible or not visible. So you can make the screens as simple as you'd like to. Okay. Um, so in this case, you notice one of the first things you see is owner. Who's the owner of this material again? Okay. So if you're doing things in a 3PL operation, you don't have to care. You just pick up another order and work with it. Okay. Um, so here's my source document, 1393. We've assigned our own internal order number, again, because you may have blanket agreements and multiple deliveries against a given order. So this is a unique identifier for shipping this quantity of these items today, whatever it might be, or it is due today anyway. Okay. Now, I'm going to release the order. I did that manually. You don't have to do it manually. You can do it so that it is um, based on your rules, based on your allocation rules, etc. I have all the material. It's available. It's time to ship it. Go ahead and release the order. Okay. Or maybe you want to control it so that there's a FedEx shipment going on at 3 o'clock and you want to pick all the orders that are in FedEx. Okay. So you can control what you're releasing at any given point in time. It's up to you. Okay. So I've now released the order. Okay. As a result of releasing the orders, you notice it's given me a group number. I could have assigned a group to it, but it does it automatically. And it's also given me a unique identifier for a shipment. What's going on what truck at what point in time. Okay. Um, Also, it's given me some tasks to do. I need to do a picking task. I need to go get that item from that location and take it to door number one. Okay. So again, directed operations. So let's get out of here. I'm still in the warehouse. I'm still in the warehouse, but now I'm doing shipping. I'm going to pick by order, or I can do cart picking if I'm a consumer um, products kind of company that has a lot of things that you're going to put into a cart. You can do all of that. Um, Assisted picking, voice picking, etc. Packing or unpicking if you did the wrong thing. Every transaction system has an equal and opposite undo transaction if you make a mistake. So I'm going to do an order here. I have an old one here that we haven't done, so I'm going to override that. This is order number 2473. Okay. I'm going to go pick that guy. 2473, remember. So it says go to this particular location, shoot the location. I shoot the location. It says, I want you to pick this particular item, okay, and a quantity of one. Scan the item to make sure you get the right thing from the right location. Oops. Scan the item correctly. Um, and do you want to put it on a separate pallet? Well, yeah, because I take it after six that brought it in, I'm going to put it on a new pallet. So that's going to be, I'll assign one here again. This can be automatically assigned for you. I'm going to assign it with my order number and a dash for that guy. So I'm going to submit that. It says drop it someplace. Where do you want to drop it? Door number one. Scan the door when you get there. Scan the location. What are you dropping off there? 2473-1, that particular pallet. You notice I didn't have to tell it if there's any serial numbers or anything like that because I knew that when I put them on the pallet. So once I move the pallet, I just say I'm moving the pallet. Everything along the way just automatically moves along with it. So I've just done that. Now, as a result, when I refresh this, we have now successfully completed our picking operation, and we need to go ship this guy now. The material's available. It's at door number one. Okay, so let's go ahead and ship. Let's get out of here. We're now in our shipping location, shipping area, and I'm going to go ahead and load the truck. Okay. What am I loading? What door am I at first? Scan the door again. Where am I starting? We always do that. Okay. Now it says, what shipment are you doing? We're doing 3236. That's my shipment number. Okay. For Earth Shaker. Shoot that. I hit the wrong one. I'm sorry about that. Let me start over again. I screwed up this. Okay. Door number, it's 3236. There we go. Okay, thank you. Where are we shipping it from? Door number one. Okay. And what skids or what pallets or what packages are we shipping? I'm going to scan those as I put them on the truck. Done. Okay. And I'm done with all of that now. So I'm here. If I refresh my screen back here, we've now successfully completed the shipment. Okay. We've loaded it on the truck. Let's take it a step further though. Okay. Let's say I'm going to deliver this. It's our truck, and I'm going to deliver this to the customer. Who am I going to deliver to? I'm going to deliver it to a shaker. What am I delivering to them? I'll just double click on it, and it gives me now a blank screen where I can have the person who's receiving this sign off on it. Simple as that. Okay, so we've done all of that. Now, let's take a look at where my shipments stand. I can go into my shipment manager or shipping schedule. I can do that or do it right from here. Here's my shipping schedule. Here's our shipment number, 3236. Okay. And it's been delivered to the customer. So I can simply say this has been shipped complete, and I'll close the shipment from a supervisory standpoint. We're done. That's it. So you've seen a whole bunch of things here. Yard management, also very simple to use. I'm going to give you 10 seconds of yard management here. Let's say we have a trailer. Okay, this is truck 23. Okay, he's arrived. Okay, let's do another one here. Let's do another one at this. Oops. Let's do another one here. Okay, so let's say I have an appointment. Okay, it's trailer number I don't know, 23, 24. Okay, something like that. Okay, whatever that is. And the driver, who's the driver involved with this? It's me. Let's do that. I have information on the drivers. And uh, what time is it supposed to be scheduled for? That's all been done. There's obviously a whole bunch of other things you can do here. You can confirm things. There are emails that are sent out to people about all of this, or text if you want to. So I have now just scheduled something here. And he's late because I did it over what our time is right now. When does he show up? Well, let's go ahead and do transactions, and we'll do a gate check-in. Okay. Here's my item right here. Okay. Now this is typically done on a handheld device, some sort of a tablet or something like that. And you hand this to the person and they see this. What am I doing? Where am I supposed to go? That kind of stuff. Okay. It has it right here. Tells you where to go. All of that. Okay. And then the driver just signs up on it. That's all. And he submits it. And he's done. Now back in the dock scheduling, he has arrived. And he's at dock number 3. And as you see, as you do things, the the um, the colors change, and tasks are generated in WMS, all of that. This is not doing any justice whatsoever to yard management, but you get just a gist of it all. It's there. Okay. Now back in business one, if I looked at my purchase order, okay, and I refresh it, it is closed, and it has generated a receipt document, which now has updated all your inventory within ERP. That's all been updated. Okay. And through automatic account determination in SAP Business One, it has also updated all the financials. All of that's been done. Same sort of stuff. Okay. All has been done. If I look at my sales order and I refresh my sales order, it is closed. Okay. And what it has generated it has generated a delivery document, which now took inventory postings. We took one out of stock, okay, and send it to this particular customer on that particular document, okay. And of course, through automatic account determination, we have now credited finished goods and we've put money into cost of goods sold. So all of that's been done. And then, of course, the rest of the process can get triggered. So we do AP and we do AR and all of that stuff, invoicing, whatever it might be. If it's an e-commerce situation, then we're all automatically generating the invoice and the incoming payment if it was paid by credit card or something like that. That's automatically coming in with all of that. So that's a quick look at WISE. As you see, what we have is a very robust warehouse management solution that can be integrated with any ERP solution that you want, okay? And will handle all your warehousing needs, increase all of your inventory record accuracy, keep your customer service high, reduce your costs, efficiency, 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 accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. And of course, if I was doing things like cycle counting, et cetera, well, then here I am in the warehouse or something, and I'm going to do cycle counting. I simply do cycle counting. It's the same thing you saw before. And I start picking up a cycle count. I go to a location and I start counting things, et cetera. And I just select count, do those things, simple things like that. But it'll handle all your inventory needs, all your warehouse management needs, all your yard management needs, even all your work in process needs in production, all of that. And that's my story today, and I'm sticking to it. Do we have any questions? Let me turn off my screen so I can answer those things.
Yes, we have.
Okay, let me stop my share. What do we have here? Let's see. First question. It says, we are facing a lot of increased costs, probably due to inflation and fuel costs. Yeah, everybody's feeling that. What can your system then do for us? Actually, we can attack those things in two ways. First, purchasing. Because we are purchasing the right stuff at the right time at lead time, okay, that reduces fuel costs for people. You don't have to do premium freight, all of that kind of stuff. And because we're planning out into the future using forecasting and MRP, you can share that with your suppliers. Suppliers can then see what you most likely need. They can reduce their costs, which can be passed on to you, hopefully. Keep your costs down. And if you have accurate inventory records through cycle counting, and if you attended our last webinar on cycle counting, a control group cycle counting is the best way to find and fix the causes of errors. And by doing all of that, inventory record accuracy goes way, way, way up. That means you can reduce whatever account that you have for write-ups or write-downs. A lot of times cut it in half or whatever. That's a one-time hit to the bottom line of the company, and you can use that to offset some of your costs, okay, and increasing costs. Secondly, in warehouse operations, efficiency, okay? You can get more work out of the same number of people as your business grows. That means it's reducing your overall costs. That puts you into a situation where you can either charge more for your services or your products, okay, without increasing your costs, or reduce your costs, charge the same, keep the same margins, or reduce your prices. And because your costs are down, then you can keep the same margins, but be more competitive. Next question. Our competition is getting stiffer and stiffer. Yeah, join the club. How do we beat the competition? Okay, two ways, as I see. Well, maybe three ways. I don't know. Let's see as I go through these. In, First of all, improve your customer service, on-time delivery. Keep your customers happy. As Alan said, costs $6 to get a new customer, $1 to keep an existing customer. So improve your customer service. And we help with that in a variety of ways by getting things shipped at the right time at lead time, so that you don't have to have premium freight and all of those things. So you have happy customers. They tend to then come back to you. okay, and buy more from you. Secondly, reduce your costs. We talked about that just in the last question. And there's different ways to do your cost reduction for all of that and keep your margins up. And of course, you can either keep your prices the same and improve your margins, or you can, again, reduce your pricing and keep the same margin. And we have all the tools that help you do all of that. Imagine, if you will, that you have a whole set of tools where all the information that management or supervision needs, or anybody for that matter needs, is at their fingertips, all in real time. And it is dependable. You can count on it. You can depend on it. And you can take action on it. Wouldn't that really help your company and keep you more competitive? And also, if we can get more output from the same staff, that means you're more competitive as well. Next question. Do we have another one? Ah, here we are. What is your pricing structure? Oh, our pricing structure is very simple. In Business One, it's by named user, not by module. Okay. And there's a couple of different kinds of users. There's a full professional user and some limited users, et cetera, for people who are not necessarily have to get to everything. But it's not sold by module or anything. And when you buy your first user license, you get everything that I showed you today. And WISE is by concurrent user. So if you have multiple shifts in your warehouse and people are using the same scanners across different time frames, well, it's just how many people are active at that point in time. But it's again by concurrent user. Um, and we do fixed price implementations as well. So you can count on those costs as well. All we have to do is maybe a 30, 45-minute scoping call with you, and we'll give you a fixed price proposal for implementation. Next question. How often do you implement WISE without SAP? I don't know the exact percentages, but I know that it's not uncommon for us to implement Business One without WISE. Not everybody needs warehouse management. Um, if you're a manufacturing company and you have very few warehouse needs, you don't really need WISE to do that. But if you're a distributor, then you probably need both. Okay. But it's also not uncommon for us to implement WISE because, as Alan said before, this works standalone. We have this universal connector that will talk to any ERP system. And if you're very happy with your current ERP solution and don't want to change, we can always add WISE to that. Okay. Um, and integrate it with your existing ERP solution. Either way. But quite often it goes either way, that we do one or the other. And also a whole bunch of times, probably the majority of times, we do both, but not always. Oh, another question. Do customers actually use those cockpits or as you call them that? Oh, you're talking about Business One. Yes, they do. And universally, they love those things. My experience is that management of the companies that we have provided our solution to, uh, they depend on those things. My experience is that at first they're a little skeptical. They don't necessarily know whether they can depend on the numbers that they see or the trends that they see. But after some time, they realize, hey, this really does work. Imagine, if you will, having at your fingertips the key performance indicators, the measures, the trends, the reports, all in real time that you need to manage your company. And also through messages and alerts, manage things by exception. You have to spend all your time in a day all fighting fires all day to get the product out the door and take years off of your employees' lives, you know, just to meet customer demand. Um, and the warehouse people love this as well because they can see how they're performing, and they can see what workloads that they have through the dashboards that they see out of WMS. And as I said before, a lot of times we'll have customers who will put monitors up in their work in process warehouse locations, and we'll just simply refresh those things periodically on a minute by minute basis, and people can see all of that. Okay, they like that. Another question? I got another one. How does your solution help with communication? I assume you mean communication within the company, but actually it helps both ways. Internally, there's message alerts, emails. Business One has this thing called live collaboration, which is really built in text that you go back and forth. You have activities that will tell people what needs to happen, and when they did something, you know that they did it. It helps with all that communication. Externally, um, in CRM, you have all those activities that allow you to communicate with people and assign things to different people. And you can then follow up on how they're doing and escalate things if they're falling behind. Um, the whole idea is that you can get back to your customers and service them in a timely fashion with resolution of whatever their question or issue was, and escalate that if you need be, and have it all within the system, all formally done in a digital fashion, so that people know what's going on and they can communicate with each other to solve customers' issues. I've got another one. Does your system truly offer directed put away and other directed tasks? I have seen other systems say that they do that, but they really don't. Simple answer. Yep, we do. You just saw it today. It tells people where to go, what to do, where to take it, what to count, how much to count if you need to, all of that. And they just simply shoot a barcode as they're going along. The only thing that generally have to key in is a quantity, maybe a lot number, something like that. But even that can be barcoded. But yeah, directed operations, not only on put away, but as you saw on picking, where to pick it, where to take it. One more question. We are required to handle certain products in a certain way, like rotating stock correctly. How does WISE do that? Well, as you saw, there's procedures within the system and processes. You can define the procedures that you want your personnel to follow in the system and use the product attributes that we have within the system to as differentiators to handle individual products or individual kinds of products, and then direct the personnel to do what they need to do and where to go and how to do it. Um, and then the system verifies that they did all of that correctly, as you saw. Um, and in all of this, then we support slotting and replenishment and cross-docking, all of those kinds of things. But based on those procedures that we put into the system, the rules that you put into the system will then direct people to handle things in the way that you want to handle them. And also, given the allocation procedures and rules that you put in, we're picking the right stuff for the right customers at the right time. Those kinds of things. Do we have another question? Do we have time for another one? I think we're running out of time.
Can take one more question before we run out of time, if there is one.
One more. For some of our employees, English is not their first language. What languages does your system offer in this situation? In WISE out of the box, we offer English, Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, French, tag, and you can add any other language if you need to. We have the capabilities to do all of that. Business One has over 40 different languages all around the world. So yes, if your warehouse people speak Spanish only, fine. They'll see everything in Spanish.
Yeah,
They'll be comfortable.
adding languages is pretty easy. We use a data dictionary, so you just add the language, put the language into the data dictionary column, hit the button, boom, you're done.
I have one more in my inbox. Do you have 1 minute for this one as well?
Sure, why not? Go for it.
Can you do a tailored demonstration to my owner of your company, I imagine?
There you go.
Yeah, we do that all the time. If by tailoring you mean showing specific functions and specific product examples and specific procedures, etc., We
Yeah.
call that a deep dive demo, and we do that all the time. All you have to
Yeah.
do is just give us a show me list to say, what do you want to see and how you want to see things, and we'll show it to you.
Yeah, actually, nice segue, because that's typically part of my closing remarks. First off, let me thank you all for attending the demo, the webinar, if you like. I hope that you found it interesting, and I certainly ask you to, yeah, keep an eye on your inbox for the next one. We do these on a very regular basis, typically every 2 weeks. So we will do another one. Can't tell you what the topic will be right here, right now, but certainly there'll be one in 2 weeks. I've got my contact information up on the screen. If you have specific questions, that come to mind now, or hey, the minute we finish the demo, you'll probably have 15 other questions. But reach out to me either by email or certainly call me. As like that question there, if you would like a tailored a presentation of the solution, yes, by all means do call me. We are very, very happy to do that for you. That can be, an overview. That can be a specifically tailored presentation. Very, very flexible. We're more than happy to show you our solution. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And yeah, I look forward to presenting for you in the next webinar. A couple of weeks from now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.